Hi everyone. So Salesforce Lightning Day 17. Let's see what are we going to learn today. So we'll quickly go through the previous session. We'll go through the previous session and we'll talk about the assignment. We'll do the assignment and we'll talk about the toast message and what is the toast message requirement. And then we have two more methods. In recordData, we will see today DeleteRecord and we will see the reloadRecord. And also finally, we'll see program-based, how we are writing the program for all 4 methods. And debugging, how to do the debugging, what are the steps, and what is the Lightning usage. Then we will see conclusion, quiz, homework, and interview questions. Okay, so quickly, what did we learn yesterday?
Recorded.
Force colon recorded.
Record data, and what are the methods we have?
Get new
Create
record.
new record.
Get new
Save
record.
Save
Save
record, delete record, reload record.
Callback. Get callback.
Right. So let's see assignment. So implement a Lightning component using the record data to update the account name. So let's go ahead and implement it. So new Lightning component LC underscore assignment, and we'll use the record page. Yes, tell me what all I need to implement in order to fulfill this requirement.
Record data.
Attribute.
Aura attribute.
So first is Aura attribute.
Name equal to ACC.
Type
Type
equal
equal
to
to object.
I can take any name here, not only the ACC. If you want to take any simple record or anything, you can take it. So it doesn't mean that I'm implementing on the account, I should take only ACC. No, you can take anything. You can take anything. Then we have record data. What are the attributes we have?
Record ID.
Aura ID.
Aura ID. Let's take a record editor and then
Fields.
record ID.
Fields.
And we should be taking only small letter record and a capital ID. If you take a capital R, it will not work. So it's a case sensitive. And then you can take a fields. Let's take name.
Get fields.
Target fields equal to curly braces exclamation B dot simple record. Do I need to write anything here in the force record, or this will fulfill?
edit mode.
Mode should be edit. Otherwise it will give in view mode. Next. What else? Next.
Input. Lightning input.
Input text.
Lightning input.
Lightning input. Name. label equal to name. And what should be the value?
Exclamatory. Curly is exclamatory.
Three dot
Simple.
dot name. And what else tags do I need it here?
Button.
Button.
Label
Label
equal
equal to
Save.
save.
save record.
Ampersand.
Equal to
Curly
Exclamation.
is exclamatory. C
Exclamation,
dot.
C
C dot. Handle save.
save.
handle save record. So my component is done. The UI part is done. Do I need to do anything here?
Init handler.
Why do we need init?
No. Because it will load, right?
So let's go to
Controller.
the controller save record.
Handle save.
So what I need to implement in the save record?
Component dot record editor.
Component dot find record editor dot, which method do I need to use it?
Record data. Get record. Get new record.
Why do we need a get record?
We need to use based on ID.
Save.
So the requirement is whenever I update the name and on clicking on this button, it should update the name. So right now it is a account information. Now what I need is, if I type here account information 123, and if I click on submit, what should happen? It should save the latest name. It should save the latest name. So which method do I need to use it? I need to save the updated value in the name. Which method you guys used it? Save record. So we should use save record. In the save record, you can write directly function. Yesterday we have written function, and then within this result or response, right? So save you can directly write like this, or if you wanted to check what is the callback also, you can write the callback here. In order to implement the callback, $a dot get callback. Perfect. So this is the save record. Now, for example, if I wanted to check the status, what is the response that I'm getting it? So if I wanted to check any response, how can I verify it? What is the command that I need to use it?
Response.status equal to success.
Response dot state equal to.
Sorry, state. Swapna, without record ID, how it will update? I'm having that doubt, so that's why I was stopped implementing. Here we are sending okay, but in save method it has to hit, right?
Save method on what it is executing? It is executing for this record data. Record data getting the record ID from this, which is a inherited record ID. We are passing the inherited record ID attribute. So where are we writing the save? Save record, we are writing on this component. Where is this component? This component is record data. So in the record data, we are capturing the record ID.
But 1 second. So, but my question is like it should update, right?
Mhm.
So whenever it will save, or I mean like it has to update, right? The existing record one, it has to update. If I put save, the name will be overridden.
Mhm. Go ahead.
And if I put save, I will pass my record ID and name.
Mhm. So
So the
on top of the say in Lightning component, we are using the interface called force::record ID. Okay, so this is force::record ID. What is this? This is basically whenever
One
we are executing it. So that time what will happen? This is called inherit record ID attribute.
Yes.
Okay, so whatever we are implementing within this component, right? So what it does is basically it finds the record ID. If I'm placing this component, it will capture the record ID from 18 digit and it will pass this record ID to whatever the components are there. So this is a component.
Record data component.
This is a controller.
Controller.
In the component, we are writing force::record data. When we are writing the force::record data, I'm giving a Aura ID to it.
Yes.
I'm giving a name to it. So assume that record edit. Then we have another attribute called record ID. So what it does, record ID is going to, I'm going to get the record ID from the interface that we have in on top. From here, I'm going to get the record ID and it will be stored in the force.record data. In this Lightning component, force::record data in this component, I'm going to store the record ID. Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that a force::record data is one component. In that component, I'm going to store this record ID here. Now, in the controller, I'm writing the save record. I'm writing the save record. Now this save record, on which component I'm writing it? I'm writing the save component on this particular component.
Yes. Yes.
So whenever any logic that executed, so what Salesforce does is, whenever this logic is getting executed, it will go to that particular component and this component has a certain attributes. So it will cross verify in this component, is there a record ID mentioned or not? Does this record ID attribute capturing the value or not? Okay, if it is not equal to null, then go ahead and perform the logic to save the data into the database.
Okay. If any ID is present, it will consider as update. For both save and update, we can use save record.
Yeah.
Thanks, Swapna.
So here state equal to success, and also we can check. So, okay, now if it is a success, then what I wanted to do, let's print into the console.log. Save completed successfully, or else you can give the alert also instead of console.log. So let's give the alert. Now, in case if it is an error, then I wanted to check response.state equal to, I'm going to check error. It has to be capital. So when the error happens, then what I'll do is I'm going to display the alert. Let's say that record has error. Now, in this response, yesterday we have seen that there is a record ID that is stored. Yesterday we have seen record ID. And if there is any error, I can use response.error. I can use response.error. Error will be always in the format of object. So what I'll do is I'll just decode that using the JSON.stringify. JSON.stringify response.error. Perfect. And I can write one more else if condition. Else if, in case if it is a incomplete. If it is a incomplete. If it is a incomplete, I can say that alert, let's say network issue. And this is if else condition. Else, I wanted to add another else condition. I can add another else condition also here, which is a final else condition. So finally, I wanted to store, let's say that alert, some unknown problem. Okay. So some unknown problem. So this is else if, else, and final else condition. Now I'm going to save this record. I'm going to save this record. Now let's go ahead and place this LC_assignment. I'll place it onto the account. Is there anything that I need to modify there? Or will it work perfectly? Edit page. So I'll remove this component which we have implemented yesterday. And I'll place the LC assignment. Force::record init. Force::record data. Okay, what's the error here? Method reloadRecord is not completed with the mode edit. For you guys, it is working fine.
Oh, even I got the address of the same error edit.
Action
It
page,
is in
force::record, controller init, record, method reload. Okay. So it is expecting init handler, but why do we need a init handler here? I don't need it. So what
that's
I'll
also
do is
target record.
equal to v dot. Let me take another attribute record. That's it. So I have a Aura ID, record ID, target record, fields. That's fine. And also we have another attribute which is called as a layout. You can use the layout if you, otherwise you can leave it. It is also same compact or full. It has to be capital. Now let's refresh. First, let me take out this delete and click on save. And now I'll go back to the component place here. We could not find it, controller. What is the problem here? Action failed, record controller init method reload is not compatible. Reload record. Did I write anywhere reload record? $a dot get callback. Let me comment out this.
Actually, Swapna, if I comment edit, it is loading, but it is not allowing to save.
Okay. So mode is edit. So how you guys were done it?
Yeah, Swapna, it says saved, but then the record is not saved actually. So I thought I did, but record is not reflecting to be saved. Only with the init handler it works. It calls the save.
Okay, so let me do one thing. Let's go here. So let me divide this part. So Aura attribute, I have a record, which is an object, simple record object. And let me take another attribute for the error. And use the record error. Now force colon record data. This is perfect, right? No spelling. Aura ID, record ID. Let me take out the fields. And then target record, target fields. Then I'll add the target error equal to, and use colon v dot, whatever the record error is there. This is in case if you have any errors in the system, what you can do is you can save it into the record error. So how can you display this
No.
record? Yeah,
Can we use record loader instead of record editor?
sorry, can you repeat that?
Aura ID you have mentioned record editor.
Okay,
Can we use record loader?
that doesn't make any sense. You can use any, this is just a name.
Okay.
It's just a name.
Yeah, Swapna, it works for me.
Layout compact. Just hold on. So layout type, it is layout type equal to compact. So now let's refresh. So in real time also you have to do like this only. It has to be. Edit has to be capital. It's not a small letter. Perfect. So that was the problem. So problem is we were using the mode edit, which is a small letter. So edit has to be capital. If you write a small letter, it will not allow. So you do not need a init handler because we do not have any logic that needs to be loaded on the component. Whenever the component is loaded, that time we do not have any logic. So right now, 345, this is, let me uncomment this, controller. Now, in the controller, what I have done is I have used the component.find record error dot save record $a.get callback. Once I receive the callback, then I have a function response. So within this save record, I'm checking the response.state. If it is a success, alert, error, incomplete, network issue, alert message. Now, for example, if I'm changing back to here, CEO, save record. I did not save it. Let's refresh. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, click on a save. Save completed successfully, and this is the record ID. Perfect. If I click on OK, it will reflect here. Right? So this is the assignment. In case if you wanted to store an error, for example, we have here record error. Record error is basically if you wanted to store any errors, like at the end, if there are any errors and you wanted to store that errors. So what you can do is you can write here, you have to write the condition, because every time you cannot display the error. So it has to be condition. Aura if is true. That means if I have a data is true, if I have a data, and I'm going to check here. What I'm going to say is whenever the record error is not empty, whenever the record error is not empty, that time I wanted to show the value. So how I'm writing here, first I need to write v.record error. So v.record error. Then I'm checking the empty first, whether it is empty or not. So then I'm putting the not condition. That means this is if I have any record error, if I have any text inside this, then I wanted to display a message. Then I wanted to display the message because I do not want to show this message every time. I do not want to. So only whenever the record error is empty, not empty, then I wanted to display this message. Then how can I set it in the controller? As usual, normal, like a component.set. Component.set, and you can use v.record error, v.record error, and then comma, you can add whatever the text is there, you can add the text. So this way what will happen, it is going to save the data into the record error and you can see the error here. So in case if you wanted to use the target error, so always use the condition, check first of all, whether you have any information that is stored, any data that is stored within the record error. So how you will be writing the record error, first exclamation, then after the exclamation, you need to check not empty. It's not empty. Which one is not empty? This particular record error is not empty. Then display the message. You can modify, you can add here div, colors, everything you can make it, whatever the beautification is there, you can make the beautification to this. Any questions before I move on this assignment?
Yeah, so Swapna, for this edit, we need to pass what is the target record, right? So that's a mandatory
Target
field.
record.
Yeah, and
let's refresh.
Without target record also updated for me.
Hold on. So target record, why we need the target record? So basically here it's not needed. Yesterday we did one of the class program where we have done the get new record. Right? So what the target record does here is once your initialization is done, once your initialization is done, then it is going to store the data into the target record. So basically, it is going to store the object information in the target record. So that is for the whenever you are doing the get new record.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on. Moving on, toast message. So toast message, toast are the message box, or you can say notification, which developer can show according to action of the user. Now, generally, where can you see all the toast messages? For example, if you are modifying anything here, and I'll change the information, click on save. So for example, I'm creating a new record. So whenever I create a new record, there is some toast message, it will come saying that record has been created successfully. See, this is the toast message. This is a toast message. So that is a success toast message. So toast messages are like a notification which developer can show. That means developer can implement those notifications. Whatever the Salesforce standard notifications are there, those can be implemented by the developer by using the certain code. So let's see that toast messages are 4 types. One is info. Info means just an information. It's not a success, but let the user know that it is just information toast message. Success message, so which is like it is showing with the green color. And then we have a warning. So if there are any warnings, usually we get this kind of a warnings whenever you see this. Right here it will be there, and like this it will be there. So this is warning messages. Warning messages, sometimes we will see it. And then finally we have a error. Error is which is something gone wrong. So this is a success message. Similarly, like this, we have a error, warning, info. So toast message attributes, in order to implement the toast message, we have to use certain attribute inside this toast message. So we have a key. Key is, it specifies the icon on the toast message whenever the type is not needed. For example, whenever you wanted to show the success message with a certain icon, right? That time we use the key. And then we have a title. What is the title that you wanted to specify for the toast? And mandatory attribute is message. Rest all is okay if you do not want it, but message is a mandatory one. So message, what is the message that you wanted to show it to the user? And then message template. If you want to override the message, what are the Salesforce is giving that? So if I wanted to override the message, which is specified in the message attribute, like what are the, here it is message is specified. If you wanted to override, and we can use the attribute along with the message template data. You need a message, definitely that is a required. But in case if you feel that what are the text you have written, in case if you wanted to override that text, you can use the message template. Duration, how long you wanted to keep the notification. So, right, so in Salesforce, after a certain milliseconds, it will go away the toast message. But if you want the 300 milliseconds or something, if you wanted to show that message to the users, you can mention here the duration. Mode. So here we have a different type of modes in Salesforce. So one is a dismissible. So toast will disappear either by user action or on complete of specified duration. So by default, this is the mode. By default, it is if you do not specify anything. So by default, it will be dismissible. So Salesforce also uses this. And other one which we have a twisted, this is will be, now toast will be disappear on the complete of a specific duration. And here you will not see the close button. On this, there is a no close button. Ideally, when you go for a Salesforce, so if you go here, Salesforce, and if you create it, you will see there is a cross button will be there. There will be a cross button after the, here it is, the whatever here. So this close and whatever this side you can see that is the icon. Okay. So the close button, what are the close button is there? Mark, you will not see if we use a mode equal to Pister. And then we have a sticky. Sticky is toast will disappear by user action. That means user has to go there and click on the cross mark. Until that it will stay in the screen. So in order to implement the toast message, we need to use an event. The event is $a.get e.force:show toast. So here, if you observe, whenever we take a event, whenever we are talking about event, all the events which will start with the e namespace, e dot, then we are using the force. So that means e dot, whatever the force is, that is by default, it is provided by the Salesforce, e dot force. Within that, we have a different methods. We have a different methods. And one of the method that we have to use it for the toast message is show toast. We have to use it, show toast. And this, where we will be writing in JavaScript. So that's the reason we are using the $a.get. $a.get in the bracket, I'll be writing the e.force:show toast. So first we will be writing, you need to set this value. So first you need to $a.get. This is because we are writing on the JavaScript and $a is the namespace, and then get in the double quotes, I need to specify e.force. E.force is, that means event is that I'm going to implement a event. For which event, for which one I'm implementing the event, but to show the toast. To show the toast, I'm implementing event. So this is that nothing but I am declaring the event. I'm declaring the show toast event. I'm declaring the show toast event. So what I need to do is I need to assign this, whatever the event is there that we have written here. I need to assign that to the variable. I need to assign that to the variable. So var toast name equal to $a.get. I need to assign. So whatever we have written here, this side, that means this is a declaration. I'm doing the declaration, show toast event declaration. And this initialization, whatever I'm doing it, I'm assigning to the toast name. I'm assigning to the toast name. So here, var toast event equal to $a.get. $a.get, and in the double quotes, I'm using the e.force:show toast. Whatever the type of toast you implement for success type, or you implement for info, you implement for error, you implement for warning, whatever the type of toast, you need to declare, you need to initialize the event for the, in order to initialize this toast message, first you need to do e.force:show toast. E.force:show toast. Now, once it is stored into the toast event, now what I'm doing it, whatever I'm declaring it here, I'm assigning it to the toast event. I'm assigning it to the toast event. Now, toast event dot set params. We have seen the attributes on top, whatever the attributes, key, title, message table, or a mode, right? We have a different attributes. Now, those attributes you need to specify inside the set params. You cannot directly initialize within this. This is you are initializing the event, show toast event. Now you need to set the params for that event. You need to set the params. So what will happen here? Now, whenever you do this kind of a initialization, where toast event equal to $a.get inside the open bracket, e.force:show toast. What will happen whenever it is done? So basically, it is going to create a box here. It is going to create a box, empty array box going to create. There is nothing there. There is nothing inside it. It is just created an empty box here. No. So it is just created an empty box here. Now, whenever you say set params, inside this set params, you have to first specify type equal to success. So as soon as it is identified inside this set params, as soon as it is identified success, what it does, it will change whatever this empty box is there, it will change into the, it's a success type. That means it has to be green color. Automatically Salesforce will change the entire box into the green color, right? So this box will be changed. Next attribute. So next attribute is title equal to saved. Title equal to saved. So there is a title equal to saved. Then message. Now, as soon as it finds the message, what it does, it will display the message here. The record was saved. The record was saved. And by default, the other side, it is going to show the cross mark here. And by default, whatever the default icon is there, the default icon will be displayed. So this is your toast message, how it is going to implement. So the first one is nothing but an initialization. This is going to initialize what are the boxes there. Now, what is the text needs to be decided, whether which color needs to be decided here is decided by the type. If you take a type success, then it will come in the green color. If you take a type equal to error, then this box will be in the red color. And title, it's a just saved, nothing to worry here. And then message, what is the message that needs to be displayed here? Now this is implementation is done at the backend. Now I need to show this message on the UI. Now I need to, whatever right now we have implemented this toast message, it is still we are not able to see on the UI. You will be able to see this on the UI when you do this toast event.fire. When you fire this event, then only you will be able to see this message on the UI. Then only you will be able to see this message on the UI. If you have written everything, but you have not written this toast event.fire. So what will happen? It will not fire on the UI. It has been implemented, the box, everything has been implemented, but it is staying in the backend. User cannot see this. Even developer also cannot see this. Everything is happening in the backend. So the backend, based on your code, what are the code you are writing here, based on that code, Salesforce is implementing in the backend. Now, in order to bring this message on top of the user interface, then you need to fire the event. If you do not fire the event, you will not see that message on the user interface. Any questions on this? Okay, so let's see one requirement. So implement a following buttons. On click of this button will display the toast message. So I'll be implementing an information button. I'll be implementing the error button. I'll be implementing the warning button. And then I'll be implementing the success button. So we'll be implementing 4. First, I'll show the success message. Then we will move on to the information, because the logic will be same. Whatever I'm writing the code here, it will be same for all of them. It doesn't change. Only the change is on the attribute where type equal to success, type equal to warning, type equal to error, type equal to information. Only that it is going to change. And based on the type, your whatever the warning message or success message color is there, that will be changed. Now let's go ahead and implement it. So let's take a new Lightning component. Yes.
Swapna, I had a question. And that previous assignment which you implemented, right, for the account, why did you use the callback there? Without callback also it works, right? Is
Yes,
there
that's what I
is
have.
there any, yeah, but is there any like what is that performance problem if we use
Yesterday
this
I
or that?
have shown you without $.
Yeah.
Today I
Yes.
have shown with $a.get callback. In
Yeah.
case if you want, if you are performing something out of the Salesforce, which is a you wanted to bring something data from the different places, then you will need a get callback. But it is fine whether you use a get callback or not. It is fine. You can directly use the function response also fine. But get callback is used whenever you wanted to know more information which is out of the Salesforce.
Mostly for the it.
So let's go ahead and implement new one, which is a toast message LC underscore toast message. Now I'll use the record ID. Without record ID, I do not need a record ID, but let's use it in the Flexi page. Now, first thing, I need to implement a button. For implementing a button, what do I need it? Which tag do I need to implement it?
Lightning button.
Lightning button. So let's go ahead and implement lightning button. And what are the attributes are available for the lightning button?
Label, variant,
Label.
click.
Label, on click. Exclamation C dot handle.
Handle success.
Okay, perfect. So this is fine. Now, that's all on the component because I just need a button. I do not need any other thing. So I have used the label on click. Now I'll go to the controller. Now in the controller, my method name is handle success. I have a component event helper. Now I need to implement a toast message event. So in order to implement a toast message event, what do I need to declare it?
Variable.
Variable toast event equal to
$A.
$a.get.
get
E dot force colon.
E dot force colon show toast.
show toast. So this is initialization. Now I need to set the parameters within the show toast. In order to set the parameters, which method I need to use it here?
Params.
Set params.
Param.
And within this, we have a attributes. What are the attributes we have?
Type equal to.
Type
Title equal to success. And what else we have?
Message.
It's a title or type equal to.
We have a
type
title.
equal to
Title we have a type also, both. So title is what title you wanted to like just hover on this. So title message type equal to success. And what else we have?
Message.
message.
message. Let's say that successfully saved, right? What else we have other than this? That's all. Now,
We need to
finally,
fire.
in order to fire this, what
Event fire.
Toast event dot
toast event dot fire. Perfect. So let's place this onto the Flexi page, toast message. Edit page. Right, click on save. Let's go back. Now, in case if I wanted to display the success button similar to what we have a save button, what is that I need to use it? Now we have if I edit. Okay, so we have a save button. How can I make this success button as a similar to the save button?
Variant.
Variant equal to brand.
We have to use variant. So let's click on save, refresh. Now, as soon as I click on this, the success message is showing. So success message successfully saved. Success message successfully saved. Right? So this is on the title, on the toast message. What is the title here? And then message successfully saved. Now, in case if you wanted to implement for the other types where we have a info. So this is a information. So let's take a brand inverse, and then this is, let's take error and destructive. And I need to use the different method. This is the information. And this is error. So I'll copy this same code which I need to use it. One is handle information. And another one is handle error. And other changes, type we need to change it here. So for the information, we have to use the type information. So it should be information message. So let's write a different thing here. Mode is disable. And then firing it, error. We need a type here, error. Error message. Mode has issue. Let's say. Perfect. So type always keep the name in small letters. If you give the capital letter, it might not work. Now let's click on save, refresh. Information, if I click it, it's a different information message, mode is disabled. If I click on error, it show in error. Right? Similarly, we have another one, which is, what is another one? Info success warning. So if you give here warning, it will be a different. Any questions? So for example, if I say warning on clicking on handle error, it's a warning message. So the warning which is coming, the symbol warning is coming. See here, warning is coming. Now, before this assignment, this requirement, we were implementing this assignment, right? So on click of this save record, on click of this save record, I wanted to show a text message. Right now, if I'm making any changes, it is giving me the alert, but I'm not able to understand. As a user, I'm not able to understand whether it is really updating or not. So what I'll do is I'll go back to that assignment. So we have here. So whenever it is success, I wanted to show a toast message. So what you can do is where you can take any name here, result toast equal to, what is the, how do we do the initialization of the toast message?
$A.
$A dot
Get
E dot post colon. Success toast.
E dot
B
post
dot
colon
show
Show
toast.
toast.
show toast. Now how to pass the parameter for this?
Set param.
Toast event dot set param.
Set params. Now within this, you need to pass the what are the attributes are. So type equal to
Success.
title equal to, let's say, saved.
Message.
And the message equal to the record is saved
Saved success.
with new account name. Perfect. Ending here. How to fire it?
Result toast dot file.
Toast event dot fire.
So let's go ahead and refresh this. Now, if I'm changing back to the 1232, save record. So alert message, then I'm getting the success message here. The record is saved with new account name. Clear? Any questions?
Swapna, you had given one assignment yesterday, right, regarding the opportunity. Now consider, okay, in the same program, account program, suppose I want to update the typed field, which is a pick list. Okay, not a normal input box. Then in that case, I have to populate it using the select list, or is there any other way?
Okay. So Lightning input, did you try? Are you using the force colon record data? Are you using this force colon?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take an example here. Rating is there. So this is name, and let me take another input. Rating, click on save. Let's refresh.
Label equal to name rating.
Sorry. Yeah. So for this Lightning input, it is not working on it. But have you tried with the different thing? Lightning input.
No, I did not.
Lightning input does not work with the record data. You cannot take the pick list values here.
Mm.
Use the select list, that were the one which we have discussed.
Okay. So that means I have to populate all the select options by myself, right? They will not be pre-populated like
Yes.
input field.
Yes, for now, yes, use it. We will see how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
pick it up the existing one.
Okay.
Okay, on the toast message, any questions? Okay, so homework. Display a toast message based on the pick list value. So in pick list values are info, warning, error, success. So basically you need to have a pick list value here, and inside this pick list value, there are four values: info, warning, error, success. So based on this pick list value, whenever you click on this button, it should show that message. For example, if you select pick list value here, success, and if you click on a show toast, you should get a show toast of the success message. And if you select here error, and when you click on a show toast, it should show the error toast message. It should not show the success toast message. So based on the whatever the value you are selecting here, based on that, you should show the toast message. This requirement, you need not to use anything called a force record data. You can implement it differently. You do not need a force record data for this. Okay, any questions before I move on? Next, we'll be moving on force record data method, delete record. We have discussed the get new record. We have discussed the save record. Now we are going to discuss the delete record. Delete record is to delete the current record. Whatever the current record is there, to delete that, we use the delete record. Now, delete record also has a callback, which is a similar like a save record. So callback function to be invoked after the record has been deleted. Right? So the callback, once the record is deleted, the callback is going to get the response. And based on that response, you can, if you wanted to do any logic, if you wanted to implement, you can implement it. Now, syntax is similar to the save record. We have a delete record. Within the delete record, you have to use the $a.get callback. $a.get callback. And within this callback, we have a function response. We have a function response. Now, any questions on this? Okay. So now let's go ahead and implement the requirement. So implement a Lightning component to delete the account. So whatever the account, so I'll be placing this on the Flexi page. So from there, we will be deleting the record. So let's go ahead and implement it. So we just need a component to delete it. I just need to delete the record. Any questions on this requirement? Okay. So let's go ahead and use it. So the one which we have done it here, right? The save record. We already have a save record here. In the save record, whenever we are updating anything here, we can save, which is saving the record. Let's assume that I wanted to modify it. I wanted to delete it. Or let me implement a new one otherwise, which is a similar to the existing one, right? So I'll be using the same logic. only that with instead of the save record, I'll be using the delete record. So let's go ahead and implement the new one, Lightning component, LC underscore delete record. So I need a record page. So I've checked that. Oh, perfect. Now I'll be implementing 3 attributes. Aura colon attribute. Okay. Name equal to record and type equal to, I'll say object. So right now I'm going for only delete. So let me not use any other thing here. So record is which is needed for me. Instead of record, let me take this as a different value, simple record. Perfect. So let's go ahead and use the post colon, record data, and Aura ID. I need the Aura ID. You can use any name here. There is no specific Aura ID. So I'll use here record DEL. And then we'll use the layout type equal to compact. If you do not want to use the layout type, should be fine. That should be all good. But I need the record ID. So record ID, definitely I need it because we are going to delete the record ID. And then what else I need? I need a target fields because at least one field I'll be showing that. Target fields equal to, let's take curly braces exclamation. V dot simple record. Fine. So let's save this. That's it. I do not need anything. For the save purpose, let me show you one input field, which record I'm deleting, at least that information will be there. So Lightning colon input. I'll take the label equal to name and value equal to curly braces exclamation V dot simple record dot name, simple record dot name. That's it. And then we need a button called delete button, Lightning colon button, label equal to, let's say delete record, and on click equal to curly braces exclamation C dot handle delete record. Perfect. So if I wanted to use the brand also should be fine here. Variant equal to brand. That's all. Force colon record data, no component.
Ma'am, here no need to take fields attribute. No?
Record spelling.
The
Fields, you do not need it anything. Basically, I'm not doing any change there.
Target fields spelling.
Target fields, right? So we are not doing anything here, just we are doing the delete operation. Whatever the existing record is there, I'm just deleting this record. I'm not updating anything. So that's the reason I'm not taking anything, but if you want, you can modify anything, or if you wanted to take, for example, you have a 2 buttons, edit button as well as the save button, or save button or a delete button. In that case, you might need it, but you can get the fields from we have a target fields, right? From that, you will be able to get it. From that, you will be able to get the target fields, whatever I'm taking here. So now handle delete record. Let's go to the controller. Let me set the component. Now let's go to the controller. So handle delete, I just need component dot find what is our component or ID?
Record delete.
Record delete dot which method we have to use?
Delete record.
Delete method.
Delete record. Inside this, you can use $a dot get callback, or you can use directly a function. Callback function
Function.
response. I'm not writing here anything because we are completely deleting the record. There is nothing to do it here, but in case if you wanted to show the toast message, you can show the toast message here by implementing the toast message. Now I'll place that component onto the account. Edit. You can place that component on any object. You can place it onto the opportunity, you can place it onto the lead, because we are not specifying anywhere that account or something. This is a generic we have implemented. This delete button is generic. It's nowhere we are saying that it is an account related record I'm deleting or opportunity related. I'm not saying anywhere. So you can use it on the opportunity, you can use it onto the lead. Anything should be fine. Perfect. So let's click on save. So I'm just showing the field name. So that's just to cross verify the same record we are deleting it. So right now we are into the 100 ATM. So that's the same one. If I click on a record, delete record, what happened? It is deleted. It is deleted. I cannot see. Now, where can I see that? If I go to the recycle bin, view all, if I go to the recycle bin, I can see whatever the record is deleted, I can see that here, 100 ATM. So how much code we are writing here? We are just writing one line of code here. So behind this logic, Salesforce has written the logic of the delete DML operation, whatever the delete operation is there, they have written. Now, any questions on the delete record? Okay, so moving on to the assignment, the requirement. So implement a Lightning component to delete the opportunity record using the force::record data. So show the toast message for successful deletion. So once it is deleted, just show the success message saying that it is deleted the record. It is deleted the record. So your component has to be like this. That means you need to use the Lightning card here. So in the Lightning card, you need to use the icon name, which is a delete. You can find it in the Lightning design system, this icon. And then title has to be delete record. Within the Lightning card, you have to place a button, which is a Lightning : button. And the label name is delete record. Third requirement is implement a Lightning component to delete the account record using the force::record data. Here, there is a condition when the account industry, we have an industry field. If you go to the Salesforce, this is similar like in real time. So if you go to the Salesforce and if you go account, and there is a field called industry in the account record. So we have a different values in the industry. So whenever the account industry equal to banking, right? So if it is not equal to banking, then it should allow to delete. But whenever it is equal to banking, it should not allow to delete. So that means you need to have a condition here. If industry equal to banking, then show the warning message. Account with industry as a banking cannot be deleted. If else, then it should allow record to delete and show the toast message, which is a successful deletion. So you need to have this button on the account. And whenever you are clicking on this button, you need to cross verify what is the industry value. What is the account industry value? If the account industry equal to banking, then you should show warning message. You should show warning message. If it is a not equal to banking, then show the success message saying that successfully deleted. Any questions?
Swapna, yeah, for this we need to write Apex also.
No, you do not need a Apex. This condition you can directly write into the
Component.
controller.
Component.
So you are getting the values from this target fields, right? So here what you need to do is, before this, any of the logic, before of the component.find or anything, so you need to write a logic here, whatever your value is there, the industry equal to banking or not, so that you need to cross verify here.
Okay.
If it is a equal to banking, then you should show warning message here. If it is a not banking, then this is the else condition. In the else condition, you should show this delete button. You do not need an Apex there.
Swapna?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just for my information, okay. So once I delete the record, okay, I get some message saying that looks like there's a problem. Unfortunately, there is a problem something because that record is deleted right now. I cannot visit that page once again. So how to go back to the list page after the record deletion?
Yeah. So for that, we need to write an additional logic to go back to the previous page. Whatever the account starting page is there, we have to write some more logic onto that.
Okay.
So that is a navigate to URL. We call it as a navigate to URL or navigate to component. So that means once this is deleted, now I should go back to this page, account home page. That means I need to navigate from one place to another place. That is, we are yet to discuss that. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so let's move on to the reload record. So reload record is very rarely we use it in the real time because it has to be reloaded the component. Very rare scenarios, very less scenarios we see it using the reload record. So reload record is if you wanted to reload the component, then we use the reload record. So it has a two attributes, skip cache, which is a Boolean, whether you can use a true or false, then we have a callback. Similar like other method, we have a callback. Callback function to be invoked after the record is retrieved. That means in order to you reload it, you need to first retrieve the component. Then you can do the callback. So syntax will be similar to the other, whatever we have other methods similar to that. But here reload record, you can directly use it. If you do not want to use the skip cache callback, you can directly say that reload record. So let's take a requirement, implement Lightning component to fetch contact record based on the ID using the force record data. Okay. Assume that we are not placing this component on the Salesforce. Because when we place this component on the Salesforce, we automatically able to capture the record ID from the 18 digit. So from here, the component is able to capture the record ID. Now this scenario, which I am implementing in the community or a different place where we are not implementing in the Salesforce. So we use a reload whenever we do not have a record ID and we are passing the record ID from different places. Possible that from the different component I'm passing, possible that different places I'm getting the record ID. So I do not have a record ID on the URL. So in that case, user has to enter the record ID. Based on the record ID, I wanted to show the details. So similar like this. Now I'll be entering the record ID here and I'll say fetch data. So by default, if I place this component, whatever this side you see, if I place this component, what will happen? This component is automatically displays the information of the based on the 18-digit ID, which we are getting it from the URL. If it is within the Salesforce. If it is within the Salesforce, it is automatically getting the information. Assume that I wanted to implement a component outside of the Salesforce. Outside of the Salesforce means we have a different community or different places I wanted to use it. Okay, so in that case, somebody has to pass the contact ID. Assume that maybe user has to pass or developer has to pass it. In our case, developer has to pass the contact ID. So based on the contact ID, if I click on a fetch data, it has to be reload. You will not see refreshing complete component. So it is just a fraction of second, you will see that it is going to happen. In case if it is a very huge component, very lot of information is there, that time we will see the refresh, it will take some time. So basically here what I'm doing is I'm just displaying the contact information based on the ID. Is it clear requirement? Okay. Now let's go ahead and implement. Let me comment out this. Okay. So file new Lightning component. We are using the LC underscore reload record. And I do not need any of this because I'll be using this component outside of it. So Aura component, definitely I need the record data. So force colon record data. And Aura ID equal to, this is record loader. And then I need a record ID. Anyway, we are not going to, but let's take a record ID here. Record ID equal to exclamation B dot record ID. And then I'm using this component outside. So I need a fields. Let's take a first name. On the requirement, we have a last name. And then we have an email. Then I'll take a target fields. So in the target fields, I need to use v.contact records. No, that's all. Now what I'll do is I'll declare the attribute for this. Aura colon attribute. Name equal to. And then type equal to.
Object.
And also here I'm taking the record ID, but I do not have any interface here. I do not have any interface, right? So in this case, I need to declare one more attribute, Aura colon attribute, name equal to record ID, type equal to ID. Whenever you do not have an interface, you need to declare the record ID. Now, this is done. Now, this component is divided into, in the page, it is divided into, it is on the layout, and the layout item is certain size, it is there. So I'll use lightning colon
Layout.
Layout.
Multiple
Layout
multiple
item.
rows equal to
item.
Multiple rows. True.
okay.
Layout item.
Layout item. Size equal to 6.
So let's take 4. If it doesn't fit, let's take the 6. Okay, there's one and another one also I needed. Now within this, we have a card.
Card. Lightning card.
And then we have a lightning colon input. And let's take label equal to enter contact ID. And then I have to store that value. Now, whatever the user is entering this ID here, whatever the user is entering here ID, I need to store this value somewhere. Where should I need to store that?
Record ID.
We have to select the record ID
Record ID.
because we are not using any interface here. So right now, whatever the user has entered, I need to store that into the record ID. Let's say, okay, or attribute.
Line number 2.
Okay, this is input. And the other one, I need a button below that. Here we have a fetch data button. So I'll use lightning
Lightning colon.
label equal to
Fetch data.
fetch data on click curly braces exclamation C dot handle
Reload.
And fetch data.
Reload.
Fetch data.
handle fetch data. Now perfect. This is on this side. Now I need to implement first name, last name, email. The other side I need to implement it. So let's take there also lightning card. Okay, within this lightning card, that is the output, right? Lightning colon output. You can use the lightning colon output or else we have a something called formatted text. We have a something called formatted text. Now let me take the lightning output then. Okay, so let's take the lightning colon output. Output field value equal to v dot, what are the contact record dot first name. Okay, and then I'll use the lightning colon output field last name. And the last one which I use email. Now let me implement application for this. First, let's see the UI part. Then we will implement the controller. File, new, Lightning application. LA_reloadRecord. C:, the component, and what is the here we need to use?
Salesforce colon SLDs.
Force colon SL.
SLDS. Click on preview. Now, here, if I use an output field, is it displaying anything here? It's not
No.
displaying. Now you can use an input field. You can use input field, input, not the input field. But if you want, you can use the input. Label equal to first name.
First name.
Label equal to first name. Email. Click on refresh. Now it is displaying here. For example, I do not want to display because this is the edit mode. Actually, I do not want the edit mode to be displayed. I want the read-only mode to be displayed. Now, how can I display the read-only mode? Because output field is not working. Whatever the output text, whatever is there, it is not working. So in that case, what we use is we use something called formatted text. Instead of output, what we will use is here Lightning : formatted text. Formatted text. So I'll just give the value here. Now let's show you this. Control S. Let's click on save, refresh. So which is going to display like this, because I need a read-only format. I do not want edit format. User should not be entering something here. In case by using the recordData, if you wanted to display any field value in the read-only format, use the formatted text. Now, when I enter the record here, let's open the contact. Now let's take this 18-digit ID. Now, whenever I enter this and click on fetch data, it should display the values here. Now for that, I need to implement a handle fetch data. Now, if I place the same component in here, what will happen? It is automatically fetch the information and display the information. If I place it onto the Salesforce, if I modify this, if I place this component, let's say if I'm making the changes to edit page, and I'll place the same component, but I cannot place it because we need to use the interface here. LC reload. Reload record. If I place that component here, what is happening? By default, it is getting the information because from the 18 digit, it is Salesforce is able to capture the information. Let's activate it. Okay, so let's go back. Right, so right now I am getting the ID on load of it. It is getting the ID as well as it is showing me these information. But right now I'm using the component outside of the Salesforce. When I'm using outside of the Salesforce, I'm mentioning here 18-digit ID. I'm mentioning 18-digit ID. But this 18-digit ID, is it passed to record ID right now?
No.
Not yet. I have to do it through the controller from the handle fetch data. From the handle fetch data. So what I need to do, I need to first capture the whatever we have the record ID here. So let's capture that record ID equal to component dot get v dot record ID. Then how can I save that record ID here? How can I save that? Using the component dot find.
Get say.
Oh, already.
Find the component and then set
Save.
Daddy.
record ID. Let's click on save. Now this is, I'm saving the information. So let me copy this. It's not working.
Not to is reload, right? Swapna.
Sorry.
Reload function we have to write, right?
Yeah.
Controller.
So let's write the reload function component dot find reload record loader and then dot reload
Reload function. We can use as it is. Or...
No, that's fine. You do not add anything else, so it should be fine. Let's refresh. Now the data is coming. So reload is nothing but complete page is refreshing. No, I'm not refreshing complete page. This component, whatever this component is, in just a fraction of second, it will be there. I'm not reloading, not this reload. I'm just doing the reload of this component. So if I enter fetch data, then it will reload and display the information. That means whenever it is reloading it, what it does, it will go and check the record data. So what is happening right now is, now I have implemented here record data, right? Record data, which is expecting the record ID, But on load of the page, we have this page. In this page, we are passing the component ID here, and then we are displaying the data. So when we are passing the component ID here, by default, right now, ID is not there. record data does not have an ID. Whatever this view is there, this view is coming from record data. This view is coming from post::record data. Whatever the post::record data has it will display the first name, last name, email, whatever the data is there. Now, on load, there is nothing is there. So that's the reason it is displaying empty. Now I entered the information here, some ID I have entered and I clicked on the fetch data. When I clicked on the fetch data, it passed the ID. What happened when I clicked on the fetch data? It is passing the ID to post::record data. Once it is passed to the post::record data, I cannot see this here. It will not automatically does not happen. I need to reload this. That means when it is reloading it, the reload whenever it happens, that time I'll be having the ID. That time I'll be having the ID, then it will display the values here. Clear? So that's the reason we use a reload there, because if I enter and click on a fetch, it does not come here. This has to be, whatever this component is there, this component has to go back to the HTML component, check what is the post::record data, record ID is there or not, then again load the information here. Now, final conclusion of the program based. So we have seen get new record, we have seen save record, we have seen delete record, we have seen reload record. So in the get new record, component.find we have used it. In the save record also we have used the component.find. In delete record also we have to use component.find, and in reload record also we have to use the component.find. So basically whenever we are implementing the post::record data and any of this method which we are implementing, we must have to use the component.find. We must have to use the component.find. So once the component.find is done, then based on the method, if it is a get new record, then we have to use the get new record. Inside this, we have to pass 4 parameters. First one is an object, and second one is a record ID, and then we have a skip cache and the callback. Similarly, for the save record, we have a callback, and delete record has a callback, and reload record also has a callback along with skip cache. So is it mandatory that every time do I need to write a get callback and every time do I need to write this? No, it is not mandatory. If you do not think that I don't need this response at all, I'm not doing any logic within, once I get the response, I'm not implementing any other logic, or I'm not checking any other if else condition. In that case, do not use it. If you are doing any, once you get the response, if you need any other additional logic that you wanted to write within this, then only we are going to use the callback. Any questions? So next we will be moving on debugging. So sometimes whenever we see the problem, let's assume the delete button is not working. I'm clicking on the delete button, but the logic is not getting executed. We have written 20 lines of code or 30 lines of code. So in case if you wanted to debug Aura component, the first thing you need to do is you need to find the, you need to configuration, you need to update the configuration at the user level. So we have a one field which is called as a debug mode. We have a one field which is on the debug mode on user record. There are 2 ways which you can do it. So first let's see here. So find a debug mode. When you click on a find, when you find it, you will see this one. Now you can check this. Whomever you are testing it, whoever the user you are, check this and enable it. So what will happen? The debug mode will be enabled. So once the debug mode is enabled, the next step is you need to write the debugger in your code. You need to write debugger in your code. When you write the debugger in your code, automatically when the logic is executed, it will be break at that point. So first thing is that you need to enable at the user level. So user level enable, either you can go and do it in the directly jumping into the user record. So you can directly go to the user settings, additional user information, in additional user details. We have an option called debug mode. But if you enable this, what will happen is your performance, Lightning performance will go down. Lightning performance will go down. So do not do it in the production. This is fine if you do it in the sandboxes, but don't do it in the production. Because ultimately your, whatever the Salesforce, Lightning Salesforce is there, it will slower the performance will be slower. Now observe this on top. I'll take a screenshot of this. So on top, after quick find search, okay. So this is right now it is there. Okay. So either you can do the debug enable from here, or else you can go to the setup. In the quick find, you can search for a enable debug mode. Basically, you need to search for debug, which is available in the inside the Lightning component. If you click on a debug mode, you will see all your users list here, and just check which are the one. Right now I'm into the DEC badge, so I check the DEC badge and then I click on enable. So once it is enabled, just refresh your page. Observe the top one. I've taken a screenshot. Okay. See here, after search or before this star mark, something is coming. EPT. What is this EPT? It is an experienced page time. Whatever your Lightning experience, performance experience, or the storage location, how much the storage is it is occupied. So if you click on this, if you click on the green one, it will give an alert message. Storage name equal to action, adapter equal to crypto, and the size 1758 of the 10240 KB. So that much size is already allocated. That much size is already allocated. In case if you, in real time, what happens is if you have implemented so many Lightning components on a single page. So that time what will happen? The load will be a lot. Load on that particular page is so much. So in case if you are debugging it and it is taking a lot of time, so what we will do is we will click on this and we'll click on a OK. As soon as I click on OK, so this 2.9 whatever is there, so it will become 0. Now if you click on this, so it will become 0, and then right now it is taking a 103 of whatever the current one is there. Now it is a 0 KB. Now perfect. So right now the storage is clear. Now I can see that 0 storage is used. Now again, if you refresh it, because these all needs to be loaded, right? Something backend it is happening. Some backend work is happening. So ultimately it will go on. Ultimately it will go on. So in case if you wanted to refresh your the storage one, you can click on this. So this you will observe whenever you will enable the debug mode. Whenever you are enable the debug mode, you will see. This is the experienced page time. So what is the experienced page time? So Salesforce will give here hint if you have a lot many Lightning component, how much is the experience on your page, how is happening it. So these all information will be given to you, and on top, whatever you see, you have a Lightning component debug mode enabled. So that means it is giving a warning or information. It is an information it is giving to the developer that you have enabled the debug mode. Your Lightning component or your Lightning experience performance is a slower. It goes to the slower. Salesforce is a slower in debug mode. It is giving the hint to the developers. So production, we should not be doing this. In case if you are getting this, means you have a debug option is enabled for your user. Right? So we should not be doing this in the production. It has to be disabled in the production. In sandbox, it is totally fine. You can play with this. And in order to disable this, you need to go to the debug mode. You can uncheck this, right? You have to select this and click on it disable. What will happen if you click on it disable and refresh, the message will go away and that EPT experienced page time also will go away. Now I'll click on this checkbox, click on enable, and in the developer console, let me write the debugger. So this is the controller debug. So let me write here the debugger. So when we write a debugger, the delete option is on the account and click on inspect, refresh, empty cache, refresh. Okay, so let me write it on to the another one also. Which is assignment controller. In the assignment controller, let me write the debugger. It takes time to load the information sometimes. Okay, so let's see 1, 2, 3, click on save record. See, automatically it is pointing out to the debug. So not only this, now if I say delete record, as soon as I click on a delete record, it will go on to the delete record, the debugger pointer. Right, it will automatically stop here. As soon as I click on a save record, it will stop here. So you can start debugging it. This is a step going one by one. You can select this step one by one. In case if you wanted to place somewhere else, you can highlight this so that it will be pointed. So as you can see all your breakpoints. As soon as I select it, it will be added here. So you can see all your breakpoints here. You can go step by step. So now again it is breaking. So this is the how you can debug it in case if you have any issues, whether the data is coming properly or not.
But Swapna, to add debugger, we don't need a debug mode on, right? This is client-side debugger. Otherwise also it will break at the debugger.
Let's disable that. Refresh. Inspect. Again, hard refresh. Click on save record. Save successfully. Is it hitting?
But I already used it. It was working. without a debug.
Okay.
Can you try delete? Can you try delete also? We
It does
have
not work.
really?
Check your, maybe some configuration, you might have changed it. Okay, so that is the debugging. Now, next one, Lightning usage. So in order to know the Lightning usage, what are the clients, your clients are, whether they are using the Lightning mode or they are using the classic mode, how much, whenever they open the Lightning, what are the places they are spending so much time? Are they spending in the lead object or are they spending in the account object, where they are spending most of their time on which object? So if you wanted to know those all information, you can go to the Lightning usage, setup, find the Lightning usage, and then you will see this screen. When you see this screen, you can click on view usage metrics. When you click on view usage metrics. So let's go there. So Lightning usage. Lightning usage. So click on this Lightning usage. When you click on this, it will take you to the metrics. So back to the application, Lightning usage metrics. Now here we have a certain information which is available. So the first one, these all are activities that are happening in the Lightning application. So the first one is a Lightning experience. Lightning experience. How many active users are there in this org? How many active users are there in this org, from when? And those all information you can get it. And here, who are the users mostly logging into this org? Right, so we have a two users. One is the system admin, and the second one is the which we were working in the admin side. Salesforce, Messi is the one, another user who we were playing with that. So it will give you how many users are actively using this Lightning experience, and when they have used it, all the information it will give, and daily activity users. What are the daily activities? How much they are using it every day, right? And then it is going to give us the profile. In the Lightning experience, it is going to give us the profile level also. So system admin, how much they have used it, and standard platform user, how much they have used it, right? And it is going to give us. This is basically Lightning experience. Lightning experience is about the key metrics of the active user and how many users are actively running and what is the profile. So which profiles, most of the profiles related to which user profiles. Based on the profile, it will give the metric. And if you see here, how many users are mostly using the classic, they are not using the Lightning. If you wanted to know, then you click on this switch to classic. If you click on this switch to classic, what will happen is it will tell you how many users are actually using the switch to classic. Now total monthly switches to the Salesforce classic, how many done? So there are 7 between this December, and there are some 34 times which it is done in January, and unique monthly switches to the Salesforce classic. So from this, client will know that whether my clients, my end users are really using the Lightning experience or they are using the classic experience. So they will come to know from this if they wanted to switch off classic completely. So if they see that some of the users are using the classic, then they don't switch off the classic. If they see that none of them are using the classic, then they can go ahead and switch off that. So these everything it will give from the profile level, user level, how many users, how many profiles switch to classic they are using. The option here, switch to classic, we have on the here switch to Salesforce classic option is there, right? So from that it will be captured. Next, browser. So Lightning experience, whatever this org is there in the browser level, how much is the usage, right? From the it is given the from last 3 months. So from the last 3 months, it will give here browser usage by month. So browser usage in last 7 days, how much they are using it in the Chrome. And browser performance by month. Average page load time, how much average page load time, 4K in the December. So now it is less. Performance by the browser. So in the Chrome, right? So the total percentage. So this is a Chrome browser range 0 to 3 seconds, and this is 3 to 5 seconds, and this is 5 to 8 seconds. So it is going to give us, and here it is giving the browser performance by month in the Edge and Chrome. Edge and Chrome. So Edge is very less, which we have used it in the somewhere in the January end of the month. So Edge is very less, which is a 2K. Average page load time is 2K. So we were using the Edge in the admin classes. And then we have a page. So Lightning usage page wise. Most viewed page. So that means whenever your users are logged in, which object they are mostly using it. So account record is mostly used. Lead record is below that account, and lead record list home page, right? So it will give what are the pages that are mostly used by the users. So it can overall it will give, not specific to the user, but overall in the org, which of the objects that are mostly used it is going to give us from the last 7 days. And how is the performance? Slowest desktop record page, right? Account record page. So if you wanted to see performance analysis, you can do the performance analysis. So that is the account record page. If you click on that, it will take you to the builder. So this is the app builder it is building. Number of views that happened on 24. And performance of the most viewed pages. Account record 22%. Right? It is going to give everything, all the information it is going to give here. So this is the page name, and this is the how much total percentage. This is the account record, and this is also account record, and this is account record. This is the lead record list, and this is lead record. Or if you wanted to select a specific page, based on the specific page, on each day, how much percentage it has been taken. So you can select account record or a lead record list if you wanted to change, or lead record, right? So home page, it's not changed anything. So let's go back to the. So it will give all the performance here, and also it will give the active license, how many users license is active. For now, we have only 2. One is a system administrator, another one is a data sales admin, which is a Leon Messi. So those 2 users are active, rest all are deactive. And how many permission set license we have? We have a B2B buyer, B2B commerce, right? Commerce user, lightning order management, queue management. We have these many licenses which are used, and lightning order management user is 100K. Okay, so and the features of license, what are the features of license which we have? The license type. And finally, we have a login metrics. Daily password free login, last 7 days, monthly password free login, daily password free login, monthly, nothing is there. We cannot draw the chart because there is no data. And here daily login with the username and password. Whoever is logging in with the username and password, it is giving these all information. So basically in the Lightning usage is nothing but Lightning usage in terms of the how many users are using this Lightning and how many profiles are using the Lightning, and how many members are switching the Lightning to the Classic, and how many members are using this org in the browser, what is the performance, or what is the storage it is taken, and what are the pages they are using it, how many licenses that we have it, and what is the login metrics that we have. Everything we can see here in the Lightning usage. It will be the metrics information. So that is just for the information. We do not go for in the real time, we do not use it that. But in case if the client says that some issue is there related to license, till yesterday the license was working fine, but today it is not working. If you wanted to cross verify, so Lightning usage is the right place where you can check what are the active licenses, right? So that is one of the scenario, but we do not use this Lightning usage mostly in the real time. Whoever is working with the client, whoever is facing with the client, like dealing with the clients directly, so they will has to use this Lightning usage just to cross check how the users are using the Lightning. Any questions so far? Okay, so conclusion, what did we learn?
Toast message.
Post message, delete record, reload record.
Delete record,
Reload
Delete
record,
record. Reload record.
Debug.
Lightning usage.
debugging,
Yes.
Lightning usage.
and
Lightning usage.
lightning usage.
Right, so total 7 topics we have learned today. Question: which event do we need to use it to implement toast message?
E.force colon toast.
$a.get E.force colon toast show toast.
Show toast. Right. How to write the code to display the toast message? They
Set
ask
param.
in the interview this question, write a code for the toast message.
Toast event dot set param.
Variable.
Tab is
Yes.
In get
Storing into the variable,
Where toast name.
we have to do the set params.
Yes.
Yes.
How to delete record in program based LDS?
Record type, delete
Delete
record.
record.
record type. Delete.
Record data, delete record function.
How to enable the debug mode for Lightning?
Setup
Debug.
debug mode.
Debug controller.
Debug mode, user list, particular user, we have to enable.
Yes. How to pass the inherited record ID to the force colon record data?
Attribute or attribute record ID.
How to pass the inherited record ID?
We don't match field, we don't record ID.
Where do we declare the record ID inherited?
I mean, has record ID implements has force colon. Force colon has record ID interface we need to use.
Yes, we need to use the interface. Force colon has record ID. By using this, we are inheriting the record ID.
Record ID.
So I'll paste this. If you do this, the last one, which is talks about the EPT, experience performance optimization. But if you have a time, please go ahead with the others also. But the last one, if you wanted to understand EPT, which we have discussed about the experience performance, experience to page time, then you do this last one. So when you open this, So measure the Lightning experience performance and experienced page time. Right, it is going to give us the entire information. That's all for today.